Hi, I'm Erik from Twisted Throttle World Headquarters in Exeter, Rhode Island, and today I'm going to go over some common options for aftermarket and original handguards. So here we've got our Shop KLR 650. It's one of the second generation versions of the KLR 650, and it's got a very typical original Kawasaki handguard on it. And what I'm going to show you carries over to a lot of other brands. But this handguard is only attached to the bike at one end, on the inboard side, and it's open on the other. There's no sort of reinforcement inside, so if I grab this, I can actually crush this all the way back to the handlebar, or push it forward, bend it down, bend it up. So what you have here is a handguard that's great for wind and rain protection, but it will offer little to no protection for your levers or your hands. Now, if you drop this bike and your lever breaks, it gets a lot more difficult to ride home after that drop. Now, if we go one step better on the OEM handguards, or original handguards, we've got a handguard here from a Triumph Tiger. Now, this handguard attaches to the handlebars at both ends, so you've got an attachment that's inboard and an attachment that's at the bar end. But what you see here as well is that the metal is extremely thin. I can just bend this with my fingers without really trying too hard. And the handguard itself twists quite a bit. Now, I can push this all over the place on my bike, so you end up kind of with the same thing. You end up with a handguard that's great for wind and rain protection, but in the event of really doing some dirt riding where you're whacking into some trees or you're dropping your bike, there's probably going to be some significant damage to your controls. So the two brands of aftermarket upgraded handguards we've got are Barkbusters and SW-Motech. Now, right off the bat, you're going to see a huge increase in rigidity. Both SW-Motech and Barkbusters use hardened aluminum backbones. What does that mean? Well, as hard as I can push on this thing, I can't bend this handguard. I can't flex it. I can't twist it. That's going to mean that your levers and your controls, as well as your hands, are going to be protected in the event of coming in close contact with a tree or dropping your motorcycle. Now, let's get into some of the details of the SW-Motech Cobra handguard. Now, first off, the handguard is about or I should say the plastic is a medium-sized plastic. It's going to be good for a decent amount of protection and summertime use. If you're going to use it in very wet or cold weather, you're probably going to want to get the accessory wind and rain extension, and that bolts on with 3 screws, and you can pop that right back out if you don't want to use it anymore. This is in line with some of the largest original and aftermarket handguard plastic sizes we've seen when you use the extension. Now, one other accessory they've got is an LED turn signal. And you can see here that it's mounted into the handguard plastic in a really integrated kind of way. The LED turn signal is street legal in Europe. It's CE approved. However, because DOT in the US requires really large signals, it doesn't quite meet the DOT size requirements. Now, you can use it as auxiliary lighting in the US, and it's very effective. I'll show you how bright it is. Now, you'll notice that it's going a little bit faster flash rate than your typical original turn signal. Nate, our product designer, is still finishing the install on this DRZ400, and he hasn't installed the optional resistor to slow down the speed. So the last point on the SW-Motech handguards that's worth pointing out is that they have powder-coated black backbones. Now, if your bike is more of a street bike and you are really concerned about the integrated look, you're going to really appreciate that because the whole thing blends much more into the look of the bike and the look of the grips. Now, the Cobra handguard is only available in black, so as long as you like black, you're in good shape.